So this is the final class on the topic of Mahamudra as described by Master Tilopa. And I think it's useful for us to begin by remembering, to remind ourselves of the complete path. So I invite you to listen to His Holiness the Seventh Dalai Lama's words on how to contemplate the complete path. So he says, whatever you want for yourself and others with a human form is easily attained. Disengage yourself from meaningless efforts. Strive to accomplish the highest goals. Because all things composite are impermanent, life changes and never abides. That change is the basis of suffering. For the samsaric mind fills with frustration on watching its creations continually fade. The higher you climb in samsara, the higher the cliff on which you perch. The more things you own, the tighter you are bound. The dearer you hold someone, the greater the chance they'll hurt you. The faster you subdue enemies, the faster their numbers increase. This body is a thing borrowed for a moment, and possessions are things stored for others. Now we dally with them, but quickly are they lost and misused, and only are sources of misery. Therefore, no worldly possession is worth the effort of gaining. Turn your back on that which only handicaps. An unburdened mind is joy supreme. The pinnacle of aims is to follow this path, body, speech, and mind, kept stainless with pure self-discipline. Mind held in samadhi, blissful and clear. And wisdom, seeing all realities of every situation. The mother beings, wandering in the six realms, to me, their child, are pieces of my heart. For many times have they soothed my troubles, and in infinite ways have they brought me joy. These infinite beings, so kind, are covered by the fog of ignorance, constantly lashed by whips of delusions. They have no chance to lay down the burden of misery from their minds. Therefore, whenever you meet anyone, greet them with eyes smiling with love. Why mention that you shouldn't even consider holding evil intentions or deceptive thoughts? The way people and things seem to be, other than projected labels, is a distortion created by deluded mind. If we look at the root of things, emptiness is clearly understood. And in the vast space of perception of emptiness, mental grasping for the ultimate subsides. Then one looks into the face of the world, everything is seen without essence. Understanding interdependence, we understand emptiness. Understanding emptiness, we understand interdependence. This is the view which is the middle, and which is beyond the terrifying cliffs of eternalism, nihilism, neither, or both. When we read or recite these three principal aspects of the path to enlightenment, renunciation, bodhicitta, and wisdom, we try to go beyond a mere intellectual understanding to a deep experiential realization of the truth of the path. How do we progress? It's through contemplation, over and over again, marinating the mind in the truth of these three. We develop renunciation by understanding the rarity of the fortune we have. It's so rare to meet, and not only just to meet, but to take an interest in the Buddhist path. We contemplate life's fragility and the mechanism of karma, that every action produces a result. Karma is definite. It expands. If we don't create the cause, we won't experience the result. And conversely, if we do create the cause, barring any mitigating circumstances, we will experience the result. Then finally, we must wrap our minds around the suffering of cyclic existence, generally and specifically. These four thoughts, the precious human life, impermanence, karma, and suffering, are the four thoughts that produce renunciation. They take us to and keep us on our cushion. We want to be free of suffering. Then bodhicitta is cultivated by remembering that every being is in their own leaky boat on this stormy sea, covered by fog, the fog of ignorance. And each one has been dear to us at some time or another. We want to help them, and we develop a longing to have an unmistaken understanding of the direction so that we can guide them to a safe port. Finally, wisdom is developed by seeing mind's true nature, by understanding dependent arising and emptiness, that all phenomena, including oneself, all of us, arise in dependence upon causes, conditions, parts, and labels. As Kyabje Zopa Rinpoche advises, see all conditioned phenomena as merely labeled by mind. Understanding these three aspects of the path, let's once again set our intention to attain full awakening, so we might lead each and every sentient being to freedom. For how wonderful that will be. To allow that longing, that wish to arise in your heart. And then please settle into your meditation seat. Relaxed, vigilant, and still. Become aware of the feelings within your body and the state of your mind. Settle the mind with awareness of the natural rhythm of the breath for 10 cycles. Breathing out and back in as one, without any force or impedance. Just rest naturally, attending to the sensation of the breath, wherever it manifests most distinctly as the body breathes. presently aware, please bring to mind your root lama, someone for whom you have great admiration for their qualities of love, compassion, wisdom, and skillful means. And have a longing for those qualities. Gaze into their face and feel their loving presence. See their smiling eyes. Let your heart be glad that they are in your life. And think, oh, how fortunate I am to have met you, my great inspiration. May you always be with me. And with this attitude, remembering the 3 levels of refuge, we surround ourselves with all the sentient beings and lead them into this refuge and seeking blessings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. How wonderful it would be if all beings had happiness and all its causes, if we were free of suffering and all its causes, if we were never separated from higher rebirths and liberation, and if we would abide in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and hatred. How wonderful this would be. I will help us to have these. Please, Guru Buddha, bless me to be able to do this. Please bless me to awaken and realize every level on the path to enlightenment. I beseech you, may I be inspired by Guru devotion, uplifted by the preciousness of this human life, shed the fetters of attachment and aversion through a knowledge of impermanence, be protected by refuge, guided by a knowledge of actions and their results, aim for liberation through renunciation. May I be motivated by bodhicitta, opened by giving, disciplined by ethical behavior, strengthened by patience, enthused by joyous effort, stabilized by concentration, and freed by wisdom. Please, may I become fully awakened for the welfare of all beings. Looking into your Lama's face and seeing them smiling at you as the embodiment of all enlightened qualities. Your Lama accepts your request. They melt into a small sphere of light and come to your crown. This light, a manifestation of love, compassion, joy, and wisdom, begins to descend down from your crown down through the center of your body, and comes to rest at your heart center. Penetrate that place with your mind and allow it to expand. Allow the warmth of a loving heart fill your body. Your whole body a vessel of love. Know that you are loved and that it is your nature to love. And then feel a responsibility to offer this loving kindness to every living being and to remove the suffering of the world. Take a few moments to send that love out through all of your pores, touching sentient beings, and on the in-breath, removing the suffering, which simply energizes your love. On the out-breath, it expands, and on the in-breath, it is energized. You might be specific on where you place your attention. Perhaps recent suffering that you've witnessed or heard about. Removing the suffering and all its causes. And giving every happiness. How wonderful it would be if we would only think of benefiting one another. If we would always meet beings with eyes smiling with love. Allowing our own heart to grow in loving compassion. And on the out-breath, allow this loving, kind energy to expand, to fill all of space. And then to very gradually, gently, allow it to contract back. Like breath on a mirror, becoming smaller and dissolving all conceptuality. until once again it is the size of your body. Smaller and smaller. Until everything has dissolved into clear light emptiness, where there is no one resting, no act of resting, and nothing to be put into a place of resting. Rest the mind and let it relax in its own state. This can be tricky because on the one hand, we need to be mindful and stay present. And on the other, we need to let go and just relax. Looking directly at the space in front and simply relax, peace, rest. Rest evenly in momentary present awareness. There is a sense of focusing on space on the one hand, and on the other hand, there's no particular spot to focus on. The gaze is like space itself, wide and spacious. Whatever comes up in the present, a thought, an emotion, perception, try to meet it without any judgment, without any comment, resting the mind in the experience, whether you regard it as good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. No need to change or improve or to look for a better place to rest. Rest the mind where it is, just as it is. Just as it is. Just now. resting evenly in momentary present awareness. Without ruminating over the past or fantasizing about the future or analyzing the present. Rest. Just as it is. Stay. With a vividness, unwavering, a sense of wonderment. This is your mind's true nature. And it is every single thing. Reflecting the infinite possibilities of emptiness. So when we have a glimpse of this spacious, clear mind and see how it is that thoughts, feelings, emotions, perceptions arise, they abide, and they dissolve on their own. We have a place to return to recognize, as the seventh Dalai Lama said in the Complete Path, mind held in samadhi, blissful and clear. If we can remember that line, mind held in samadhi, blissful and clear, we recall the experience in our meditation practice. And we use that to be presently, momentarily aware and not get sucked into, kidnapped by whatever it is that is appearing within this spacious quality of mind. So in Mahamudra meditation, it's not enough to just recognize the presence of thoughts and emotions. We need to recognize their true nature and rest within that experience. So from time to time, When we meditate, we reflect on the characteristics of mind, those three, right? Emptiness, clarity or luminosity, and awareness. When we look at the mind, it's like infinite space. It has no limit. It has no material form, no color, no shape. There's nothing we can touch. That space, that openness, is the empty nature of our mind. When contemplating mind's emptiness, we experience the spacious, insubstantial, non-material quality of mind. And thoughts and emotions arise within. We leave the mind in a state of ease and total openness. When we contemplate the clarity aspect of mind, we look directly at whatever forms, thoughts, or emotions arise. We see them as a natural expression of this luminous nature. And looking beyond the object, seeing through the veil, we experience the radiance of emptiness. Resting, relaxed within that basic presence of luminous clarity. The luminous clarity aspect of the mind has the power of knowing, seeing, experiencing the world. It's like when a room is full of light, we can see the objects. In the same way, the light of our mind makes appearances clear and distinct. When we think about an object, our mind naturally produces an image for it. The image we see is an expression of mind's clear, playful, creative energy. Then finally, awareness. Mind isn't only empty and clear, it has the quality of panoramic and discriminating awareness. Awareness is the wakeful aspect. It's the sharp, penetrating intelligence that sees through confusion and perfectly understands the world it sees, as it says in the complete path. When one looks into the face of the world, emptiness is clearly understood. With clarity and awareness coming together, we experience the full power and benefit of compassion and wisdom in our lives. So once again, rest the mind. Let go of any thoughts of hope or fear. And calm the mind. Just briefly, rest the gaze in open space, in front, bringing the mind into the present moment. Relax, simply experiencing the quality of awareness. Then let go of even that and relax without thought, resting evenly in momentary present awareness. Relax deeply. Be at ease. Experience the mind as empty and luminous. We experience the three aspects of mind in union, the wholeness of mind's nature, the union of emptiness, clarity, luminous awareness. Let it be. With this understanding and experience, we can bring skillful means into our everyday life. It's so very useful, so very, very useful. Okay, good. Now let's continue with Master Tiloka's Ganges Mahamudra. We have had some small discussion about the first 20 verses, so we'll continue. I'll repeat those so that you can have another sense of them. And then I'll make a few comments, very few, about the last 8 verses. So please listen and try to recall the meaning. And once again, allow yourself to time travel to ancient India and sit by the banks of the Ganges, listening to Master Tiloka, speaking to his heart son, Naropa. I bow down to that glorious, spontaneously arising state. Mahamudra can't be described unless, my Naropa, it is taught to one possessing enough intelligence to endure the hardships of the spiritual path and devotion to his Lama. One like you, with a heart pure enough to hear the purest things. Kyeho, cast your gaze well upon worldly things, which cannot ever stay. They're just a dream, an illusion. Illusions and dreams, which in actual fact can't ever truly exist. So learn to find them sorrowful and give up these games of the world. Let go of your fondness for your retinue. Turn away from all your loved ones. Walk alone into the forest, to an isolated hermitage, and practice meditation. Reside within the state of non-meditation. Reach that thing which cannot be reached, and you will reach Mahamudra. Things of this cycle are meaningless, just feeding your ignorant likes and dislikes. The things you do lack any essence, so focus upon the ultimate essence. You won't see the object beyond all thought with the things that you're thinking. You won't find the object beyond all deeds with the things that you're doing. If you really long to reach this object beyond all thought, beyond all deeds, take a trip inside your mind and rest within the naked mind. Penetrate the putrid swamp of your conceptions. Don't feed or strangle what appears. Just take it as it comes. And when there is no more to grasp or let go, you are released into Mahamudra. Picture now a fertile tree with widespread leaves and branches. Cut the root, and all its billion leaves and branches wither. Picture a darkness which has gathered for 1 billion years, and yet a single lamp can dispel all the darkness gathered there. So it is with your own mind. A single instant of the clear light can dispel 1 billion years of bad deeds and obstructions. And if one of weaker mind cannot rest upon this object, have them place the mind upon a crucial point of inner wind. Use a myriad of different viewpoints and myriad visualizations until you can coerce the mind into staying in that state. Imagine you're studying the entire sphere of the sky. You'll come to stop delineating the middle from the ends. It is the same when studying the mind, using the mind. Images and feelings stop, and you come to rest beyond all thought, seeing mind's true nature, unsurpassed enlightenment. Picture now a layer of fog that just dissipates into thin air. Without going anywhere, without staying anywhere. It is the same with all the layers of conceptions rising from your mind. The waves of thought just dissipate by seeing your own mind. Take the sky, for instance. Devoid of any shape or color, its nature is immutable, unblemished by clouds of black or white. So it is with your own mind, devoid of shape or color. It can't ever be blemished by good or bad, black or white. Think how the nexus of the sun burns so clear and bright, it cannot be covered by a billion years of darkness. And just so, at the nexus of your own mind is the clear light, which cannot be obscured by a billion years of blind mistakes. Say you wish to analyze the empty nature of the sky, but you find there are no words to express this quality of sky. Just so, we can talk about the clear light of our own mind, but there's nothing there for us to say. This is what I'm speaking of. Ask yourself, what could ever rest on any fraction of the sky? Nor could any object rest upon your Mahamudra mind. Release yourself to the 15 fundamental state. Your bonds will all be broken. Without a doubt, you will be free. This is your mind's true nature. It is like the sky, and it's every single thing. There's nothing not a part of it. Give up this lie of the physical realm. Rest in your unborn nature. Hearing the few words you speak as simply its own echo. Clear all thinking from your mind and look upon the world. It's a moon inside a lake. Look upon this body. It's a hollow reed without a core. The mind, it's the sphere of the sky, beyond objects of thought. Leave it alone in its natural state. Don't make it stay or go. When there's no turning in the mind, this is Mahamudra. After you have mastered this, you reach matchless enlightenment. With no object to focus upon, the nature of your mind is clear. When there is no path to travel, then you've reached the Buddha's path. Practice what cannot be practiced. to reach matchless enlightenment. The king of all world views lies beyond subject and object. The king of meditation lies beyond all movement of the mind. The king of all activity lies beyond the need to do. With nothing more to hope or fear, the final goal comes into being, the unborn foundation of all things, free from the blinding seeds of darkness. Stay here in your unborn essence. Don't let the meditation end. Let appearances appear as nothing but the play of mind. The king of all world views breaks free of every border. The highest king of meditation is depth and space without an end. The highest king of action stays here, doing nothing. The highest king of the final goal stays here, beyond its hope. And now verse 21. At first, the karma is a stream that cuts its way through mountains. In the middle, it's the river Ganga, slowly winding past. At the end, the waters merge, and mother and child are reunited. You can practice the perfections. You can practice the secret word. You can study a collection like monastic discipline. You can analyze each different school's texts and modes of thought. But none of these will let you see the clear light, Mahamudra. To explain the essence of our mind is as beyond color and shape. First, impermanence is taught. And then there is bodhicitta meditations and the six perfections. All are mostly taught as symbols to point out the true nature of mind. So what do we need to see Mahamudra, clear like mind? The direct cause is having the Guru's instructions appear to our mind and meditating with strong, consistent determination from the depths of our hearts and bones. And if, while depending on this, we arrive at a mind free of all points of reference. That is Mahamudra. So indirectly, we need the awakening of previous good karma. We need the aspiration. We need the devotion to follow our teacher's example and instructions, and seeing them as awakened. Verse 23, let nothing surface in your mind. Be free of hatreds and desires. They're just waves upon the water, rising up, then dying down. When hatreds or desires arise, they block you from seeing the clear light. You lose your realizations, and you break the vows and pledges which you promised to protect. The more we realize the ultimate truth of Mahamudra, the more regard we have for the conventional truth of cause and effect. It's a play of interdependence. The more we ascertain the meaning of Mahamudra, the more we naturally consider acting in accordance with conventional cause and effect, seeing it as an extremely important principle. It's not a conceptual thinking. Oh, now I must consider cause and effect. In Mahamudra's essential meaning, the mind free of mental activity, all desire is naturally pacified, naturally disappears. There's the quote, naturally arisen, naturally extinguished, like designs on water. No matter how much thought goes through our mind, we don't need to rid ourselves of it with antidotes. All thought in our mind arises and is extinguished by its own accord. Thoughts are magical manifestations of mind. And when we recognize this, thoughts become supportive of our realization, supportive of our virtuous practice. We begin to see how thoughts arising are habits of the mind. The root of thought is one's own mind, nothing else. But we don't move from that state. Within that state of natural mind, we meditate in equipoise on that very realization. This is my mind's true nature, within which all appearances are nothing but a play of mind. Verse 23. When you never stray from that place you cannot stay, that thing you cannot see, this practice of the holy ones becomes a beacon in the dark. When free from hatreds or desires, without lapsing to an extreme, you will come to behold the entire mass of teachings. 24. Lost within this place, you're free from the cyclic prison cell. In this place, even out of meditation, all sins and obstacles are severed. You will then be called illuminator of the teachings. Fools are they who haven't any longing for this goal. My heart cries out to think of those lost in the realms of unbearable pain. for their life ends. And the river of misery always carries them away. If you wish to escape this suffering, rely on a qualified Lama. Enter the stream of their blessing, and your own mind will be freed. To rouse the wisdom of bliss and emptiness, rely upon an actual consort. Stay in the blessing of the meditation, which combines method and wisdom. To enter into union, let the swirl slowly descend. Then draw it up, send it to its place, and let it spread by. Don't cling to it, and you'll arouse the wisdom of bliss and emptiness. All worldly goals will fall upon you as you quickly reach the highest goal. Your life will be long, your hair never gray. You'll shine forth like the waxing moon. Your face will be radiant and clear, and you'll have the strength of a lion. These are my advices on the crucial points of Mahamudra. May they live on in the hearts of those with the goodness to understand. This completes the teaching spoken by the glorious Tilopa to Naropa on the banks of the river Ganges. The last few verses point to completion stage Tantra. So those teachings are secret teachings which come from the Lama. So now, shall we practice? And this, once again, is Acharya Geshe Tenpa's meditation, which he led during a Mahamudra weekend retreat with Ponla Rinpoche. So if you need to have a quick stretch, these verses I will put in the chat when we finish this meditation, both the complete path and the Ganges Mahamudra text, so you can have it. Maybe it's useful to you if you record it in your own voice, spending some little bit of time between verses, and then you play it back and listen and meditate on the meaning of those verses. And eventually, you memorize it. It's very useful because these few things pop up then as you sit quietly. They pop up in your meditation and give you instruction, right? That one verse, ask yourself, what could ever rest on any fraction of the mind? Oh, nor could any object rest upon your Mahamudra mind. So all of those thoughts, whatever's arising, cannot rest on your clear light mind. It's just when we've grabbed them and done this with them. So they will dissolve, evaporate like fog. So please, as posture is the foundation of our meditation, then take a good seat. Sitting fully, take a few intentional breaths. Straighten your spine. Place your hands in the position of meditative equipoise. Raise your shoulders just slightly and let them drop. Let them relax. Let there be a slight curve in your neck. Your tongue rests naturally on the upper palate, relaxed. Your eyes not closed, but open, looking straight out in front. Settle the movement of the breath naturally. Inhaling and exhaling is natural and easy. With all that, let the parts and all the limbs fully relax. With the body relaxed in that way, remain upright, allowing the mind to settle evenly within, resting evenly in momentary present awareness, not chasing after the past, not anticipating the future, not analyzing the present. Rest evenly in momentary present awareness. Rest evenly without one who does the resting, without something to be put into a place of resting. Rest evenly beyond blocking or encouraging. Leave behind all effort, all exertion, and settle evenly, like space, without a center or a periphery. Whatever thought or mental affliction arises, whatever feeling or experience arises, rest evenly without blocking or encouraging, so they dissolve on their own. They are self-liberated. rest in a non-conceptual state beyond all mental engagement. Rest without mentally engaging with anything at all. Rest. Relaxed, peaceful, at ease. Take notice of the difference between the still mind and the engaged mind. Awareness is infinitely renewable. Our attention, renewable. Okay, good. Coming back into this body as an agent of kindness. Over and over again, we marinate the mind in this clear, open, naked, pure, luminous awareness until it becomes our default setting. And as the seventh Dalai Lama says, wisdom seeing all realities in every situation, which comes from mind held in samadhi, blissful and clear. When we finish our meditation, we pause for a moment rather than jumping to the next and the next and the next, coming peacefully into the present moment, open-hearted, aware. How wonderful. Yeah. So I want to find those two documents and put them in the chat. And then if you had a question, hold it for a moment and I'll see. So I'm going to try to figure out. I don't really know how to do this, I realize. Anna, would you guide me?
Yes, certainly. Okay. So there's quite a handy thing in the chat. Now, if I can remember rightly,
there's a little, it says there's a little page there that says, and it says your computer. If I go to my computer, will it come to my desktop and I can drag it in?
It should do.
I'm going to give it a go.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see how we go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Oh, I see him. Now let's see if I can't. Oh, look at that.
Elaine shared a file to the meeting.
Look at that. I think maybe, I'm becoming computer literate. Okay. Good. Okay, very good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So if you like, your you're welcome to download those. Does anyone have a question or comment, or before we dedicate all of this energy?
Feel free to just unmic, everyone.
Well, let me just say that if you do have a question and you want to contact me, please feel free to do so. My email is, I'm going to type it. retreatelaine@gmail.com. So you are welcome to write to me and ask me any questions, share any insights you have. That's delightful. And I've enjoyed being with you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to go over all of these fabulous teachings, because the more we study, the more we practice, the more it becomes part of our life, part of our way of being, and not just something intellectual, but something experiential. So this is true, no question. So I invite you to practice like that, even just as a thread to practice 10 minutes a day. Try. Because if you do it 10 minutes every single day, you won't lose what you've gained. It's really important to do. Otherwise, we forget. We don't remember. Yeah. Good. Very good. All right. Well, then let us dedicate all of this positive energy. By merit of this virtue, may I become Buddha and lead all beings, everyone, into that enlightened state. May the precious Bodhi mind not yet born arise and grow, and may that born not decline, but increase more and more. And please let us dedicate also to the long lives of all of our holy teachers. May they live long and have fruitful lives, continuing to guide us life after life after life. May we never be separated from the Dharma. And may we quickly gain the realizations of every level and path until we ourselves become Buddhas. And may we have the courage to spend time in our life working toward peace, toward nonviolence, toward loving kindness, doing whatever we can, as much as possible, to eliminate the suffering of the world. And what personal dedications you might have. Those who have passed away, may they have fortunate rebirths. Those who are ill, may they quickly be healed, free from depression and anxiety. Okay. Thank you all very, very much.